Hey YouTube, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to do a story time and I'm going to get straight into the story so this video is not too long. If you guys want to hear how I got my computer stolen, then keep watching. Alright, so Big Daddy bought a MacBook computer for me a few years ago and my ex didn't like it, right, basically. So he would treat the computer like shit. He would throw it around the house, he would hide it from me. A lot of sketchy stuff, right? So at this point in time, me and him were like on the ins and out, breaking up, kind of like trying to hold on, but not really, right? And someone called me and told me to come down to a bar. They had an open tab to come get some drinks. So at first I was like, no, because I'd rather just stay in the house. But then I realized I was in the house by myself. I was bored anyway, so I was like, all right, I'm gonna go down and get me some drinks. So I went down to this place that you would never catch me at normally. Like I would never step foot into this place, right? But just this day, coincidentally, I walked into this place and it's basically like a bar. It's a lot of people in there just dancing, drinking type of atmosphere. I went straight to the back. I sat at the bar. The person who invited me down there had an open tab, so I was ordering drinks at the bar. He was with his friends. So I'm sitting at the bar and I'm drinking, sipping my little drink, and I see my ex walk in. Now my ex hair is like 21 Savage, where it's like the hair at the top and then the sides of shave, right? So I can automatically spot him in the crowd at this point. So I seen him walk in. Now my ex have a reputation of following me around, popping up places I'm at, etc, etc, right? Now when he used to do it when I was younger, when we first got together, I used to think, oh my god, he loves me so much, he just pops up places that I'm at. When I got older, I realized that's not normal, right? I see him walk in and I text him. I was like, what are you doing? In my mind, he popped up, followed me down there, and he popped up. So I'm like, what are you doing? And he responded back to me and was like, what are you talking about? Not even 5 minutes later, he runs up on me in the club. That's the term, ran down. So he ran down on me in the club. And I'm sitting at the bar, like I said, and he's standing up. So of course he's tall, so I'm kind of looking up at him, and he's like, what are you doing down here? Like, why are you down here with them? Why are you even in here? This, that, and the third. So you know, if y'all know, you ever had a situation where something happens to you and people around you are looking like, he beat on that girl, oh, he about to beat her ass type of thing? That's how I felt. I felt like everybody was just kind of like, and my friend was, you know, was like, you good? Like, and I'm just like, I'm fine. Just, Ramsey, walk away. Like, I'll talk to you later about it. Like, you're doing too much right now. So he walks away, you know, attitude. At 1:30, I decided to leave. The place closed at 2. So at 1:30, I decided to leave early because I didn't want to run into him outside or him to follow me outside, and he just kind of basically embarrassed me in front of all these people outside. We start arguing, that whole thing. So I was like, let me go ahead and leave early so I can just be by myself, get my car, and go home, right? So that's what I did. I left early, got in the car, and I went home. At about 5 o'clock in the morning, my doorbell is ringing. And I live in an apartment, and you know how some doorbells go ding dong? My apartment doorbell is not like that. It's the kind that buzz, so it doesn't stop. So it's kind of like, so he's holding the button down outside. And honestly, for probably like 5 minutes, he's just outside just ringing the bell. So I'm like, all right, F it. Let me just go ahead and answer the door. Now, like I said, we were broken up, but not really broken up. We just kind of weren't seeing eye to eye. So we were like Mr. and Mrs. Smith, to be honest. Like, we were at each other's throats. So I didn't think it was out of the ordinary for him to come in and lay down type of thing, right? He comes in, he clearly been drinking. Him and alcohol, dangerous. So I already knew he'd been drinking. He'd been out at that place. I'm sure he was drinking, right? So he comes in, you know, alcohol amps you up, give you a little bit of, you know, fire under your belt. And he came in basically ready to argue, ready to have this conversation at 5 o'clock in the morning of why I was at the bar drinking at this place, right? Me, I was asleep since like 2 a.m., right? So I'm in the middle of my sleep, you know, I'm drowsy or whatever. He's going on and on about why was I at this place, who was I with, why was I there with that guy, this, that, and the third. I mean, he's just going on and on. At this point, I was like this. Sleep, y'all. Sleep. I wasn't giving him any ammo, and what he wanted was ammo. So when I wasn't giving him any ammo, he said, okay, bet. And he just stormed out, walked out, no nothing. Now, The next morning I woke up, I made my oatmeal, and I'm sitting in the bed looking for my computer because my computer was in the bed. I lay it at the end of my bed. So I'm looking for my computer. I'm like, wait. Okay, he probably just hid it from me. I looked, y'all, when I say that, he used to hide the computer and stuff from me. Don't ask. Like, he would just throw his computer around the room, hide it from me. So I'm thinking maybe he just hid it from me. I'm looking on top of kitchen cabinets, under the refrigerator, under my mattress. Like, I'm looking everywhere for this computer. Immediately, I knew he took the computer, right? So, of course, the first thing I did was text him. He basically said, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't have your computer. So I went to his mother's house thinking his mother would be able to get the computer from him, or maybe that he was there because he used to live with his mother. I go in his mother's house. I looked around for the computer. I couldn't find the computer. And I basically told his mother, like, listen, Ramsey took my computer and he needs to give it back. Girl, let me pull closer so I can tell y'all what she had the nerve to say to me. She said, I don't think he took your computer because that doesn't seem like something he would do. I was like, excuse me? And I told her, I said, okay, well, I'm not asking you if he took my computer. I'm telling you he took my computer and I'm gonna need my computer back. If you don't get the computer back from him, I'm just gonna go to the police. So she's like, okay, I'll talk to him when he gets in, right? So y'all, literally the second I left out of her house and got into my car, she must have called him in those few seconds. He called me on the phone, and guess what he said to me on the phone? He said, don't fucking go to my family about nothing, right? And in my mind, I was thinking, damn, this is the son that you think would never take a computer, would never do anything wrong. Mind you, prior to this incident, y'all, I dealt with him following me around. I've dealt with busted windows. I've dealt with so much shit that I'm pretty sure his mother had no idea that he do, you know, or ever did. And when she said that, I was shook. Like, girl, do you even know who your son is? I ended up going to the police department. I got a police report, and he had confessed to stealing the computer. And I called him over because he was supposed to be giving my computer back, right? So I was just trying to get my computer back from him. And so he's like, you know, yeah, he took it. So we're sitting at the table, and I'm talking about the computer. And, you know, as I'm talking, he's just like, I got up real smooth. I walked over and I went to swipe the phone out of his hand. And y'all, I don't know what happens after that. None of that. I just know when I woke up, my hands were on my legs. I couldn't feel my face. I couldn't move my fingers. I couldn't move my feet. I couldn't walk. I couldn't talk. I couldn't make any sounds. No, nothing. On the inside, I was all there. I could feel that my body wasn't moving. I could feel that something was wrong. I could feel all of that, but I just could not physically move my body, right? And so I could hear him, because my hearing was out. I couldn't hear either. I could hear him faintly, like, you know, get up, get up, get up. All of a sudden, everything came to. All I was telling myself was wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes, wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes. I finally got to wiggling my fingers a little bit, and I came to and I just cried, like the loudest cry I've ever cried. The reason I cried, y'all, was because I didn't know what happened. I didn't know if he was trying to kill me. I didn't know what was going on, right? So I was terrified. I just cried. So I was crying. I told him to give me my phone because I was going to call Big Daddy. I pulled Big Daddy up on my phone. I was going to call Big Daddy, but I couldn't use my fingers. My hands were frozen. I couldn't use them, and I couldn't text. So when he seen me pull Big Daddy up on the phone, he was just like, call anybody but him. I'll call the police on myself. Call anybody but him, right? He ended up leaving, and I wasn't sure if he was coming back. Like I said, I didn't know what happened. So I ended up crawling into my bedroom, into my closet, under my clothes, and I just stayed there and I just cried. I was so off, like my body was off. I couldn't walk. I don't know how to explain it. If you've ever been knocked out, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So I ended up falling asleep in my closet under my clothes. When I woke up the next morning, my face was swollen. My eyes were like puffy and dark. I had a really, really big scratch on my arm right here, y'all. And when I went into my living room, there were drag marks, probably about 3 or 4 feet. It was like he just dragged me, and I guess, I don't know. Now, after that incident, he ended up telling me that he pushed me, I fell, I hit my head on the floor, and I had a bunch of seizures, or I had a seizure, and he dragged me to lay me up against the wall. Now y'all, I don't know if this is true, I don't know if it was false, because I do not remember what happened, you know, because I was knocked out. So after that incident, I was like, this is just too much. It's just becoming too much. It's way too much. The real juice of the story is, so I was at work one day, I'm talking to some girls I work with, I'm telling them the story, because you know that story I just told you is extravagant as fuck, so I'm telling everybody the story. And so one of the girls said, well, who is the new girl that he's messing with? Like, what does she look like? Who is she? So I pulled a picture of them up on their Instagram, right? And she looked at me and she said, oh my God, she works here. And I was like, you're joking. Stop it. You're playing, you're joking, you're pulling a prank on me. Like, what are you talking about? And she's like, no, she works here and she do exactly what we do in our department. And I was like, shut the front door. And come to find out, the girl works at my job in my department that he messes around with. And then the girl I work with said, yeah, and where you were that night, she's always there. She goes there all the time. And I was like, I put 3 and 3, 2 and 2, and 4 and 4 together and was like, ding, ow. So when I was sitting in there at the bar and I text him, what are you doing here? He wasn't following me. He was down there with the girl, y'all. And I threw him off by being there because he was doing his thing that night. So I was like, damn, it's crazy, because when he pulled up on me at 5 o'clock in the morning at my apartment, I mean, you just would have thought I was so wrong. Like, I was just out doing something way wrong. Meanwhile, he's down there with the bitch. So, y'all, I was shook. Like, okay. Like, okay. So that's the real juice of this story. But all in all, I never, ever, ever got my computer back, y'all. I never got my computer back. Like, never seen it again. And y'all, he played music, so I know for certain he probably got that computer sat up, propped up, and using it. It's just basically wiped it clean and it's probably propped up somewhere and he's using it. And at one point I was so mad, y'all. I was so pissed. Like, y'all, I was pissed, and I wanted some things to come his way from that. But let me tell y'all how life works. When Big Daddy found out that he took the computer, Big Daddy looked at me and was like, don't even worry about it. He just got another one. And that's when I realized, you know, like I gotta choose the battles that I'm gonna fight. And I just gotta, you know, just let him have his moment, basically. Lock valuable things up when he come around, because if that is what I'm gonna be dealing with, a klepto? Y'all, I used to call him a klepto, and he used to get so mad. I'm like, but you steal, so you are a klepto. You stole my computer. I don't know what else you stole from me at this point. So that's all for my video. At the end of the day, I ended up getting another computer. I never got that computer back. I never seen that laptop again. I don't know what happened to that laptop. Now, I'm just like over it. Like, I got my laptop. I'm happy. Life goes on, basically. So if you guys enjoyed this video, don't forget to thumbs up, leave me comments, and let me know if your ex ever stole anything from you, or your girlfriend or boyfriend. And don't forget to subscribe. I will catch you guys later. I'm out. Peace. Bye.